Hi everybody, welcome to a short video on financial aid and scholarships. Thank you so much for joining in. I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about how to go about paying for college and whether or not college is an option based on your financial situation. Today we're going to talk a little bit about potential scholarships and potential ways to find financial aid. And one of the things that you guys might be experiencing is you may be applying to college, you may be comparing colleges to see which one might be the cheapest option, and some of you may still wonder if college is even affordable. So hopefully I can talk to you guys about that and set the record straight on some of it. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, you can set up a meeting with me at any time, and I'd love to talk through some of these options. And so let's get started on financial aid and scholarships. To get started, let's meet Tom. Tom is a student who is calling his college advisor and trying to figure out how to pay for college. Now, Tom is saying to me, the college advisor, show me the money. And so as I be meeting with Tom, I have a lot of different things I want to share with Tom to make sure that he knows how to go to college. So let's get started to find out how Tom can end up paying for college. There are a lot of ways to pay, and one of them is financial aid. And that is basically a way that the government or even some colleges can help you afford education. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that today. We'll also talk about scholarships. Scholarships are free money that you get by just applying to those applications. And most of them are merit-based, but there are a lot that aren't. And so I'm going to kind of help you guys think about the scholarship search. So both of these ways to pay is something that I mentioned with Tom when I was meeting with him. And it's a way that I will help you guys think about your own college costs. Financial aid being the first thing revolves around FAFSA, grants, and loans. And so we're going to talk about each of those things to get you started. FAFSA is the first thing. You might not know what FAFSA is, maybe you've heard of it, but let's answer the big questions about what the FAFSA is and why we're filling it out. So what it is basically, it's this form, it's this application, it's completely free, and it tells your schools and the government about your financial situation and how much you might be able to pay to go to college. The people who have filled it out are actually more likely to go to college, and so even if you might not consider college, it might not be the plan that you're thinking of, try it out, see if you fill this out, and see how much your schools and the government could possibly give you, and it might actually increase your chances of going to college and community college as well. And one thing that's important is why we're filling it out. This actual application allows us to have this student aid report that you'll get at the very end of it, and it tells us the estimated family contribution, or the EFC. It's basically what you're expected to pay. And so it's a great way to see how much college may cost you, and so that's why we really want to fill it out, is it helps you see that, and it also tells schools about your financials. We also can see a Pell Grant, and that's free money. Grants are free money that you can use to pay for college. So we also see if you would be eligible for that and how much you might get from the government. It is a government-based grant. So the FAFSA is really important because it shows both those things, the EFC, the estimated family contribution, and the Pell Grant situation. And it also helps schools see if they can give you need-based institutional aid, which is basically free money again, that is based on your need, your financial need. There also is a thing called work study, and schools can offer this. It's basically a job that you can get on campus that helps you pay for the costs related to your education. So again, really important form. It also allows us to compare our schools. So after you get accepted to a college or a community college, you can take those costs and compare them and see which one might be the cheaper route. And if cost is a consideration, you can base your school choice off of that. There also is a great part of this that it did open in October. The deadline for most priority schools would be February 1st. So basically a priority deadline. You might be able to get more money at your schools if you've completed by then, and some schools do require you to have it completed by certain dates, so make sure to check that out. But if you complete it as soon as you can, you might be able to get more money than other people because it is a first come, first serve type of financial aid situation. So filling out the FAFSA as early as possible can help with that. And just a quick tip, there will be raffles in the spring for completion. So if you want to get some prizes, go ahead and try and finish that FAFSA as early as you can. And the earlier you start, the better, because you might need some more information from your parents or some other tax information. So definitely consider that. One thing that's necessary for the FAFSA is 2019 tax information from both the parent and yourself. So making sure you have that is really great. If you need help thinking about that or approaching a parent or guardian, just let me know. We can do that together. Another thing about the FAFSA is that you can apply at this website. You can use the link here. And for completing it, please restart your computer before you do so. The site is very sensitive. Again, it's a government site. And if you do not do that, you may have error buttons that pop up. And so it may become a little bit of a challenge creating your accounts. Both you and your parents will have to create an account. So please make sure that you create an account. It's either it's you and a parent or guardian, just one. That's all you need. And again, please restart your computer before you make those accounts. Otherwise, you'll get some error messages. Please write this information down in a very safe place because you will need it every single year that you are in college because you have to complete this form every single year. Again, you will need that 2019 tax information. There is an IRS data retrieval tool. Basically, the FAFSA will allow you to connect to the IRS where it will input your data or the numbers that you had on your taxes, and it will input it into the FAFSA. Please do that if you are able to, and go ahead and enter that data in like that. Otherwise, you may run into errors, you may miss a button or put in a wrong number, and it will delay your FAFSA. So please use that IRS tool if you can. All of these sites are very, very secure, and it will be safe. Another thing is if you or your parents lack your social security number, please follow the steps here. And if you have any questions, please reach out. The more you ask questions, the better success you'll have on this FAFSA form. We are going to have a virtual help session for you. It's a FAFSA night on December 9th from 4 to 8 p.m. You can register for that here, and it's just an hour session with a staff member from Person High School or PCC to help you complete this form. There are grants and loans as another form of financial aid. Grants are these free things. You do not have to pay it back. It's free money. An example is that Pell Grant for low-income families. And again, if you get the Pell Grant, you can, it will be a federal grant and you don't have to pay it back. You can apply to some types of grants on CFNC, but there may be other obligations. So just check and make sure that you don't have any other obligations tied into your grant. But again, that Pell Grant is an awesome thing, and you can see that on your FAFSA. For loans, there are definitely a lot of options for loans. You do have to pay these back, however, because you're borrowing that money. So you will have to pay it back. And there are 4 types. There is a direct subsidized, which is basically a loan that you can get from the government, and they will pay your interest while you're in school, which is awesome. Please select that one if you can, and if you need the money. But there is an unsubsidized loan, but you will have to pay the interest on that while you're in school. So make sure to think about that. The Direct Plus loan is one that can be given to your parents, and there's a direct consolidation loan as well. Please always take the federal loans before private ones and subsidized before unsubsidized. That subsidized is key because you don't have to pay interest while you are in school. And basically interest is when you borrow money, the person that you're borrowing from may want you to pay a little bit extra every single month so that they can get a little bit of an incentive from you to pay it back. And also because you're borrowing their money, they might lose a little bit of their own interest on the money, so it won't be making them money. And so they'll ask you to go ahead and pay them a little bit extra for borrowing. So make sure to check out your loans and grants because they are really important parts of your financial aid. But please only take what you need. Some schools will ask you to get a loan for a little bit more money than you need, and you do not need to do that. Make sure to talk to your financial aid office about that situation. And loans can be worthwhile in long term. So think about how much it would cost to go to get your education, and think about the long-term benefits of having an undergraduate degree or community college degree. And the loans may be able to significantly help you get to pay for college and go to college. And you can also pay those out over time. Make sure to pay your loan bills on time. That is a good thing to go ahead and get on your schedule as an adult, thinking about when you're paying things online. Otherwise, there will be significant consequences. So just make sure to read the fine print, know what you're getting yourself into, and only take what you really, really need. So I've talked a little bit about some financial aid, but Tom, this student of mine, really, really, really wanted more money. So I had to talk to Tom about a couple other things related to getting financial help and support for his college degree. And one of those things is scholarships. So there are national, local, and school-specific type scholarships that you can apply for and potentially receive. A lot of them are merit-based, but there are some that are not. And so I encourage you guys to search for scholarships. So let's go ahead and get started thinking about these three different types. Again, there's that national kind. You are going to be competing against students from all over the country, potentially world. So keep that in mind as you're picking and choosing the ones you apply to. Put your effort in where you really think it will pay off in the end. Go for the scholarships that actually apply to you. The criteria meet the things that you do, your qualifications, all of that stuff. Make sure that you're spending time doing the ones that are actually worthwhile. Some of them only require like your picture or a teeny tiny essay or something. So kind of think about that as you're looking for national scholarships. Think about the ones that potentially might be easier for you to apply to, and also think about the ones that may be worthwhile in the long run if you were to spend more time on them. There are ones for local scholarships. Those will come out in the spring. You will be competing potentially against other schools in our county and your peers as well. So keep that in mind as you are thinking about local ones. The school-specific ones, please check your school websites. They may have their own applications for scholarships, so check that out. Some may be merit-based. Based on when you apply, they'll look at your GPA and put you into a pool of scholarships. That would be awesome, but just make sure you think about all the qualifications for that. Sometimes you need an essay or etc. So just make sure to check on those types of scholarships. So again, national, local, and school, those are the types of scholarships we want to think about. One of the great things about the time I've spent here at Person is that we created this document that can help you guys think about your scholarships. And it's in the link right there. And it will be in the comment section of this YouTube video as well if you go to our YouTube channel for the student services. But this document has a list of tons of scholarship resources. There's scholarship tips at the top, and then also these recommended scholarship websites for you guys to use. Please, I encourage you, use cfnc.org. It's the one that you guys will log into if you're applying to North Carolina schools. That's that website. So use that, search for scholarships on there. Going Merry is also a really great website. It matches you to scholarships just by you putting in information about yourself. So please go ahead and use those two websites off the bat and then kind of search those other ones for more important ones. As you see it towards the end, there are some scholarships available depending on certain groups that you're a part of, whether that's demographic, etc. You guys can search those websites to kind of narrow down that search based on your background. One good thing too is that on this document I've included a lot of upcoming scholarships. So you'll see the name of scholarships coming up, their deadlines, and then important information. Please make sure to check that important information, see which scholarships you actually can apply for depending on GPA requirements, depending on age, those types of things, and make sure you're checking that out. Again, I will be updating this scholarship document throughout the year, so definitely check back, maybe once a week. Look at what scholarships are out there, kind of nix the ones that don't apply to you, and then really hone in your efforts on the ones that do. These are some things you might need. So again, those essays, the important part. Some of them require them, some of them don't. But I do recommend, if you want to, there have been some people who say you can record yourself answering it first, just out loud to yourself, record on your phone or your computer, and then actually just listen to it, think about how you've answered the prompt, and then make an outline based off of that. And that might help you structure your essay and think about how you would want to answer those questions and talk about something that's important to you. You can always send me a draft and I will check those out. If you give me enough time, I'll be able to give you those edits and you can go ahead and fix those edits too. So I recommend giving me enough time before the deadline to do that. Also, recommendation letters. These letters are basically, you might need 2 or 3, and what they are is a letter written by either a teacher, a coach, an employer, maybe a religious leader, anybody who can write about your character, work ethic, and abilities. Those people can write a recommendation recommending you for a type of scholarship. And so it's very important that you guys get these kind of ahead of time. Think about someone, maybe 2 or 3 people who could write on your behalf and give you a good a letter just saying that you're a good person, that you've worked hard, that you've been involved in their class, etc. Just helping the scholarship committee see your character. You please, please, please do this. Ask for these recommendation letters about 2 to 3 weeks before that scholarship deadline. So again, you got to know your scholarships ahead of time. You got to know when they're due, and then again, plan to make sure that you have enough time for those recommenders to write the letter. So 2 or 3 weeks is typically what I say for you guys to give them. Please be polite whenever you ask. If you write over email, be sure to use correct grammar. And again, respecting their time by giving them enough time is very, very key to writing recommendation letters. Again, these are people writing on your character, so we want to start off on a good foot. Your resume is one more point. Some scholarships and recommenders, even the people writing recommendation letters for you, may ask for a resume. That will allow either the scholarship people or the recommendation people to see your activities and see your GPA and things like that. If you check out the template here, you can see how to create your own resume. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. So, some things to think about. Please schedule a time to search for scholarships each week. I recommend doing maybe like an hour every week, probably a little bit more, to complete your search and also to write them down and understand the deadlines and then start working on them. Keep track of the scholarships. You can use the template here to do so. And please follow the instructions. Whatever you do, please, please, please. Some scholarships will ask for you to do your recommendation letters in a stack with all of the application material in it and ship it off and mail it to them. Others may ask you to have your recommenders have specific things that they mention in the recommendation letters. Check that out and send that to their recommenders in time. There will be a lot of instructions, so please make sure that you follow those. Otherwise, they will toss your scholarship in the trash. They will not even look at your application if you don't follow the instructions. That's why it's very important to do so. This is all written down by someone who survived the scholarship search. My mom, whenever I was in high school, told me that scholarships were my part-time job, and some of you may already have part-time jobs, but I want you to understand the weight of it. Again, this comes back to paying for college. Helping Tom out. How did Tom pay for college? Using scholarships. So make sure that you guys use this and prioritize it as part of a weekly thing that you do. It will be built into your senior schedule, especially the spring. The spring, there will be tons of scholarships pop up. And so I want you to be ready ahead of time so that you can prepare and create really great applications and potentially get yourself some money to go to college. So again, it's possible. And now, since Tom and you have all heard a little bit about the financial aid and the scholarship track, Tom has said, "You show me the money, Ms. Lester," and hopefully you guys will too. The money situation can be very challenging with college and community college, so please, if you have any questions about this, you guys reach out to me. I'm always here to help. If you guys can please take some time to complete this survey right here, it will allow me to see how far you've come this semester, what you're still working on, potentially what schools you've applied to, been accepted to, maybe if college isn't quite the right track for you, kind of show me and tell me what other tracks you might have, and hopefully I can help you out. Again, please follow me on Instagram. With this virtual world that we're in, this Instagram is actually very important for you guys. It will give you updates. I will post scholarships. I will be giving you information that you might not get otherwise. So this isn't just a Instagram, hey, fun thing. This is actually really important information for you. So please, right now, take about 30 seconds, open up your phone, get on Instagram. I know you probably can't on the Wi-Fi. Then go home if you can't and follow me. It's very important you do so to stay up to date. Thank you guys so much for taking a few minutes of your time to listen to me. If you have any questions, again, please, please, please reach out. My email is right here. Just type in Lester in the email and you will see my name pop up, and go ahead and send me your questions. Send me your concerns, any sort of issues you might run into. If you want me to read your essays, make sure you do that. If you want to go over the FAFSA and think about your student aid report, that's that thing that comes after you finish the FAFSA. If you want to go over that together, I'm your person. I can do that with you. So please know that I'm a resource. Again, fill out that survey. Follow me on Instagram. Those are your 2 tasks now. If you are in a classroom with a teacher, you may probably be doing that now. You might actually get some extra credit. Otherwise, please do that because it will give me information about your situation and also help you stay updated. So again, thank you guys so much for your time. I know that this has been a crazy semester, but you've almost completed it. So congratulations, seniors. And I look forward to the spring, and hopefully we can get you guys some financial aid and some scholarships so that you guys can feel good about your college costs. So thanks again, and have a great rest of your day.